If, like me, you struggle with your weight, then stick around until the end of this video. Lumen, the world's first metabolic coach, has important insights tailor-made for you. As each day passes, we are in a more precarious situation than we were the day before. Donald Trump has now resorted to, because he is desperate. He sees the writing on the wall. He knows the polls. He knows the enthusiasm is not on his side. And the only way for him to extricate himself from the legal morass that he currently finds himself in at his own hand is to make threats, up to and including violence against migrants. It's going to be bloody, he says, a bloody story, he says, but also threatening directly to imprison political opponents. And I don't mean just Joe Biden. I mean regular people who are involved in the political process, up to and including just donors. That's a serious thing. And the media, asleep at the wheel, without a doubt, not covering this. And as I've said in the past, missing the moment we need them the most, the moment that their constitutional protections should kick in, they're abdicating their duties. I'm going to read a post from True Social, and I'm going to play a clip of a video from a rally in Wisconsin over the weekend. And these things should have you worried. I don't mean to stoke fear or whatever. That's not the intent of it. It's to wake people up to what is exactly taking place and the danger that Donald Trump poses to the Republic and her inhabitants. Here's the post from True Social. Cease and desist, Donald Trump says. I, together with many attorneys and legal scholars, again, I'm not going to go through and explain every single time that he miscapitalizes something. Like, he's an idiot who is not even fluent in his native and only tongue, and he wants to be president of the United States. I'll just leave it at that. I, together with many attorneys and legal scholars, am watching the sanctity of the 2024 presidential election very closely because I know better than most the rampant cheating and skullduggery that has taken place by the Democrats in the 2020 presidential election. It was a disgrace to our nation. Therefore, here we go with a declaration, a proclamation from the dear leader. Therefore, the 2024 election, where votes have just started being cast, will be under the closest professional scrutiny. And here's the problem. There's two problems that I bolded here, that I highlighted. When I win, those people that cheated will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences so that this depravity of justice does not happen again. We cannot let our country further devolve into a third world nation, and we won't. And then this part, please beware that this legal exposure extends to lawyers, political operatives, donors, illegal voters, and corrupt election officials. Those involved in unscrupulous behavior will be sought out, caught, and prosecuted at levels, unfortunately, never before seen in our country. That's a direct threat to you, to me, to people who donated. He's threatening long-term prison sentences for people who donated to the Kamala Harris campaign. I tell you what I'm going to do. Let's go to the Google. Kamala Harris for president. Here we are. Easy. There's a donate button. Oh, I'm already signed into my ActBlue account. What a coincidence. And we're going to donate. Oh, $500. If we're going to have threats leveled of long-term prison sentences, we might as well make it worth it, right? So here we go. Thanks. We've received your one-time donation of $500. Well, You know what to do, Donald Trump. You know what to do. I'm right here. I just donated, not a ton of money, but $500 to the Kamala Harris campaign. Luckily for me, I'm just looking at a long-term prison sentence for the action that I just took to support the candidate that I'm supporting in this election. I am not a migrant, someone who has come to the greatest nation, the richest nation, the most powerful nation on the earth, as Republicans constantly say, the freest nation. We have created this shining city upon a hill that Ronald Reagan talked about. Yet when people want to come here to better their lives, they are vermin. They are poisoning the blood of our country, and they will be dealt with a bloody story that we are going to remove them through violence and apparently extermination. Watch Donald Trump.
They are radicals headed up by a radical governor in Colorado that has no clue how to solve this influx of crime into his state. And by the way, Colorado's one state. It's much worse in other states. But in Colorado, they've taken over. I mean, in Colorado, they're so brazen, they're taking over sections of the state. And, you know, getting them out will be a bloody story. Should have never been allowed to come into our country. Nobody checked them. Nobody checked. Were they criminals? Were they from jails? We have them pouring out from jails. We have the worst criminals in all of these countries. 168 so far are registered, 168 countries. They're in our country, and they said, if you come back, you will be executed. You will be killed immediately. Not going to be easy, but we'll do it.
There's so much to address with every single, 50-second clip of this dipshit. First of all, just because a governor is a Democrat does not make them radical. There's not a single radical leftist elected to office in this entire country. The governor of Colorado is certainly not more left-wing than Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders isn't even a radical. It's hyperbole, it's exaggeration meant to whip the base into a fear frenzy. Case in point, that immigrants are taking over massive sections of the state of Colorado. They're just this is akin to the Islamophobic, anti-Muslim fear-mongering that went on about no-go zones, that there are areas in cities, there's areas in cities in Europe that you can't even, the cops won't even go. Sharia law. It's lies, conspiracies, nonsense. And he's going with it that there are massive sections of an enormous state geographically. Colorado is huge. There are massive portions of that state that are overrun, completely taken over by migrants, according to Donald Trump. And they've been welcomed there by the radical governor. It's just stupid. And then he threatens bloody action against migrants. And that's the only way we're going to be able to solve this problem, is through violence, through bloodshed. So he's threatening long-term prison sentences for me, having done what I just did, lawyers, election workers, political operatives. I mean, these are dangerous times. This is disgusting. If you have it in you, maybe not $500. I didn't really have the $500. But if you have $5, $10, $20, $25, $100, donate. Put yourself on this list. I, for one, am not going to be bullied by this dipshit, without a doubt. And I suspect you won't be either. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, as always, daily@dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. You can just comment below. That'll trigger YouTube to share this content with new possible viewers and subscribers. I would appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed. Some people think they're subscribed because my videos always just show up for them, but they're not actually subscribed. So if you subscribe, that would be fantastic. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore. You can share my video there and tag me wherever on the social media. And I'll see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another. Anyone who has watched my videos for a while now will know that I struggle with my weight a little bit. From diets to workout regimens and apps filled with wisdom, I feel like I have sampled the spectrum of weight loss options. I think that I've made pretty great progress of late too, if I do say so myself. And no, not through some dubious miracle cure. I have been using Lumen to study my metabolism. Lumen has allowed me to better understand how effectively the foods I eat turn into the energy that keeps me going. But let's back up. What is Lumen anyway? Well, it's the world's first handheld metabolic coach. With just one breath in the morning, Lumen measures your metabolism. It lets you know if you're burning fat or carbs, and then recommends a personalized health plan to improve your nutrition, workout, sleep, and stress management. Take the next step in improving your health by going to lumen.me/Dollemore to receive 15% off of your purchase. That's lumen.me/Dollemore for 15% off your first order. Lumen is not just a weight loss tool. Your metabolism is basically your body's engine turning food or fuel into the power to run the machine that is you. Optimizing that engine can bring about several benefits. Yes, easier weight management, like I've been doing, plus also increased energy levels, enhanced fitness results, and improved sleep. Using your own real-time metabolic readings, Lumen will generate a plan to put you in the most optimal state for what you're doing. If you breathe into Lumen before you work out, Lumen can tell you whether or not you need to carb up, for instance. No more cookie cutter, one-size-fits-all nutritional strategies. Craft a healthier version of you with Lumen. Head to lumen.me/Dollemore to receive 15% off of your purchase. That's lumen.me/Dollemore for 15% off. Illuminate your metabolic health with Lumen.